Liverpool Community Radio and the Rotunda Community College proudly present Titanic Survivors Part 3 by Christoph. Radio equipment was delivered to the Titanic in time for the sea trials on April the 2nd. In charge was 25-year-old John George Phillips, better known as Jack, and 22-year-old Harold Bride as the assistant radio operator. They spent the day completing the installation and adjusting the equipment, exchanging test calls with coast stations. The sea trial reports flowed from Captain Smith to Bruce Ismay at the company offices of the White Star Line in Liverpool.
SS Baltic here have had moderate variable winds. Clear, fine weather. Greek steamer Athenia reports passing icebergs. Large quantity field ice, latitude 41.51 north, longitude 49.52 west.
Titanic's wireless operators were Marconi employees and indirectly responsible to the captain and his officers only. Radio messages were very popular with the passengers and were regarded as important navigational aids, but their use still lacked regulation.
This is SS Antillean, 6:30 p.m. Apparent time, ship latitude 42.3 north, longitude 49.9 west, 3 large bergs 5 miles to southward of us.
The Marconi room was connected to Titanic's 50-line telephone exchange, but it appears that no direct telephone connection to the bridge existed. This fact was highlighted since several ice warnings were received but not reported.
SS Baltic here. German oil tanker, Deutschland. Not under control. Short of coal. Latitude 40.42 north. Longitude 51.1 west. Wishes to be reported to New York.
Titanic's wireless room had been doing steady business since the ship had left port. She was in near constant communication with the Cape Race wireless station. Many passengers passed along greetings and business messages all over North America.
This is SS Baltic, wish Captain Smith and Titanic success.
A wireless operator employed by Marconi had to be between the age of 21 and 25 and be able to send and receive at least 25 words per minute in Morse. The age restriction was rarely enforced. Most wireless operators started their seagoing career at the age of 19 or 20. After passing their civil service examination, the wireless operators had to finish their training at the Marconi Training School in Liverpool.
This is RMS Titanic. Received Baltic. Thanks.
Titanic's machine went down on Saturday evening, April the 13th, and had not been repaired until nearly 5 a.m. Sunday the 14th. Harold Bride then shut down the telegraph for a while to let the machine cool and missed ice warnings from the Californian and the SS Mesaba.
This is SS Mesaba to all eastbound ships. Ice report, latitude 42 north, longitude 50.3 west. Saw much heavy pack ice and great number of large icebergs and field ice. Weather good, clear.
One of the first standard radio distress calls to be sent from a ship occurred in 1903 and was Marconi's newly created CQD. CQ was the signal to stop transmission and pay attention. Adding the D meant distress. At 11:45 p.m. on April the 15th, Captain Smith informed Phillips and Bride that the ship had hit an iceberg and to prepare a distress call returning at 12:15 a.m. telling them to send it.
CQD, CQD, SOS, RMS, Titanic, to any ship. Position 41.44 north, 50.24 west. Require immediate assistance. Come at once. We have struck an iceberg. We are sinking.
This SOS was the first use of the new distress signal. So far, 2 ships had responded. The Frankfurt, nearly 170 miles away, and the Olympic, nearly 500 miles away.
This is RMS Olympic. What is your position?
Position 41.44 north, 50.24 west.
On this clear freezing night, many ships sailed towards the Titanic, hoping to save as many lives as possible.
RMS Frankfurt here. We are heading to assist. Our position is 170 miles north of the Titanic.
Passengers and crew were now aware of the catastrophe unfolding, the air thick with fear as desperate people struggled for survival. Jack and Harold, 2 anxious men, frantically continued to send out distress signals to any ship within distance.
We cannot last much longer. Passengers are being loaded into lifeboats.
Carpathia is heading to assist.
Sinking fast. Have been informed. Engine room has flooded.
RMS Virginian hears the Titanic distress but is unable to read the signals. All power is lost to the radio room, ending communication very abruptly as water pours in from the Atlantic.
Jack! That's it! The captain said get the hell out of here!
1 minute, I've almost finished!
Now, Jack! Everything's down! Jack, if we don't go now, we're going to drown!
Okay, finished! Let's go out!
Jack! Jack! Grab my hand!
Harold!
Where are you? Jack! I can't see you!
Help!
I've got you! Come on! Let's go!
Oh, thanks, Harold. You're a true friend.
You can thank me in New York with a pint now. Let's move it!
The 2 men struggle as one, battling against the freezing waters of the Atlantic. Sometime between 2:15 a.m. and 2:25 a.m, the 15th of April 1912, the final wireless message was sent from the Titanic. Both radio operators remained at their posts until about 3 minutes before the Titanic foundered. Even after being released from their duties by Captain Smith, Harold Bride remarked that water could be heard flooding into the wheelhouse as he and Jack Phillips abandoned the radio room. Jack Phillips was still sending as the power supply to the radio room failed. The captain of the Carpathia, Arthur Rostron, makes a frantic bid to coax as much speed as possible from his ageing vessel. He orders every off-duty fireman and trimmer to report to all boiler rooms. The overworked engines desperately needing a constant supply of coal in order to keep Carpathia at full speed.
Come on, Henry, come on! Get those boilers going, full throttle!
We're doing the best we can, Freddy.
We need more! People are probably drowned out there. Come on! Come on!
The men worked tirelessly to get the Carpathia to the scene of the tragedy. It was 3:30 a.m. when the ship arrived at the exact position given by Jack Phillips. Sickeningly, there was nothing to see. No ship, no lights, no lifeboats, nothing. They scanned the waters around them, and then after 30 fruitless minutes, Captain Rostron sent down an order from the bridge to stop all engines.
Stop all engines!
What?
Captain's orders, stop the engines!
Stopping all engines.
The captain wants quiet and everyone up top.
All hands on deck.
On deck, the world was suddenly deathly quiet, just the sound of the sea lapping against the ship.
Can you see anything? Any wreckage? Bodies?
Can't see a damn thing. Wait! Look! Henry's stranded ice over there!
Where?
There! Look! Look!
I can see something. It's a lifeboat. Ahoy there!
And there's another one! And another!
I see them.
Dwarfed by her size, lifeboats approached the Carpathia and survivors began to board. Many of them sobbed, others were in a total state of shock. A reflection perhaps on what they had witnessed in those last few terrible hours. It was 8:30 a.m. when the final victim of this tragedy stepped aboard the Carpathia. Cold and shivering, although glad to be alive, their thoughts lay with their fellow passengers who had died in those icy waters. It was a sombre Carpathia which travelled at great haste to New York. The Carpathia had already sent out news of the tragedy, but her initial wireless reports were confused, leading some papers reporting that the Titanic was being towed into harbour. As the full scale of the disaster became clear, journalists scrambled to interview survivors and piece together the final moments of the stricken vessel. They all planned to wait at the quayside on the 18th, but the media world knew that there would be bedlam trying to get the best scoop. In an effort to discover the truth, Adolph Ochs, the New York Times editor, booked an entire floor at the Strand Hotel, laying plans for the 16 reporters to meet the Carpathia when it docked.
Listen up now. I said listen up. Quiet! Thank you. You are all aware that a message has been received stating that all Titanic's passengers are safe. That message seems to confirm that while she is badly damaged, she is still afloat and being towed to safety.
Sir, there are also reports that the Titanic has sank.
Thank you, Carr. These reports are the reason behind this meeting, to get to the bottom of this media mess.
I know some of the rumours are from amateur wireless operators who are trying to earn an extra few bucks.
You're right, Carr. There are that many stories flying around out there, it's impossible to know where the truth lies.
Carr was the managing editor of the New York Times under Adolph Ochs. He was an intelligent and perceptive reporter who Ochs had the utmost trust and respect for. Even while Mr. Franklin, the vice president of the White Star Line, was still stating their confidence that there was no loss of life, Carr had a gut instinct that something wasn't right and dug up his contacts in Halifax and Montreal. Confirming his hunch, they told him that the Titanic's wireless had fallen silent 30 minutes after the first distress call.
Sorry for busting in on you like this, sir, but I got this gut feeling the Titanic sank after hitting the iceberg. The ice warnings were already out for that area. It's all beginning to make sense now. Even the Carpathia haven't confirmed Titanic's still afloat. I suspect they've placed a blackout on communications.
I believe you're right, Carr. I was having doubts myself. This is big. If we get this wrong, we're in serious trouble. The New York Times might not survive this.
Trust me on this one, sir. I know I'm right.
I'll go with it, but don't forget, this is your story, Carr. Don't get it wrong.
I've got the best man on it now, sir.
And that is?
Young James Bell.
Bell logged every last detail down but felt no pleasure in preparing the headline news. Like a lot of people, he felt a sense of loss, this becoming more apparent as he interviewed survivors at New York Harbour. Friday the 18th of April, survivors disembarked from the Carpathia not knowing of the situation. They could quite easily be mistaken for prisoners of war.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Can I send a cable home for you? Let your loved ones know that you're safely on land? Here you are, ma'am. Take my handkerchief. Dry those tears. You're safe now. May I inquire of your name, ma'am, and your story?
My name? My name is Mrs. Naranov. It was about 11 o'clock when it happened. I had gone below to my cabin because it was chilly. I remember the stars were like glittering steel points against the dark sky. I was just getting ready to retire for the night when I heard this terrible noise. Then a strange tremble. A vibration, almost. Moments later, my husband and his brothers burst into my cabin.
Did they see what happened?
My husband said that they had seen an iceberg. It appeared to brush the side of the ship, but then slowly bore away from the vessel. The atmosphere and the crew did not seem right. They thought it better if we all went back on deck. It was only when we arrived we realised that something was terribly wrong. People were shouting and running and back and forth looking for their loved ones. The crew started lowering lifeboats. They had their revolvers drawn, shouting women and children first.
Where was Captain Smith? Did he get into a lifeboat?
I don't know where the captain was. The crew were exemplary. I remember a boat being lowered, but the rope snapped. It must have fallen near to 20 feet into the water.
Was there fighting, ma'am? Did it seem like a mutiny when the revolvers were drawn?
No, there was no fighting. Heroes were on board Titanic that night.
Did your husband go down with her, ma'am? Did his brothers survive? Could you hear them screaming, ma'am?
No, please, no more questions. I can't think straight. I'm tired. I don't remember.
One more question, ma'am. Were you able to save anything? Did you lose all your possessions, ma'am?
I lost everything that night. Everything.
As the days passed and the events unfolded, James and his colleagues felt sick as they realised the plight of the survivors and the poor unfortunate dead. It was a story that would stay with them for the remainder of their lives. James listened to stories of dead bodies being plucked from the sea, as yet not embalmed. He was told the sight was a gruesome one. Sadly, the two brave men, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride, never shared that pint. The Titanic radio operators did great honour to their profession. Jack Phillips died serving the captain. His body was never recovered. Harold Bride survived, but suffered crushed and frostbitten feet. But he never forgot his old mate, and he often raised a glass or two to him later on in life.
My name is Rhoda Abbott, and I have lived with shame and regret for having survived the tragedy of the Titanic. The decision to return to England with my two sons still haunts me, as I have never thought for a moment they would not adapt to the way of life in England. For their sakes, I made the decision to take them both back home to America. I chose to travel on the amazing super ship Titanic. I loved my sons dearly, and I had unwittingly caused disruption to their lives. This was my way of making up to them, a goodwill act. In my grief, I have come to understand that decisions can become timeless pathways. pathways that can reward our lives with happiness, or readily break our hearts, stealing from us those we love and hold so dear.
Titanic's band leader, Wallace Hartley, was pulled from the Atlantic, his music case still strapped to his body. A haunting scene to witness, knowing that as the Titanic went down, the band played on to the end. You've been listening to Titanic Survivors, produced by Liverpool Community Radio and the Rotunda Community College